dive into it, shall we? So we are doing a kind of interesting mash-up here today. Bilgewater aggro, Misfortune aggro is definitely a headlining staple in this format. So 3-3 for 3. Whenever an ally attacks, we deal 1 damage to all battling enemies in the enemy nexus. And then Misfortune levels when she's seen you attack 4 times. This is a card that's very difficult to level up because notably she has this keyword I've seen here. So for example, unlike our other champion Ashe here, who just says you've frostbited enemies 5 times, Misfortune has to be in play to when you're attacking those 4 times in order to level up, which is an important distinction. That being said, her base level stats and the amount of aggression she pushes is generally enough to end most games. She's a threat that people need to kill. And then Misfortune's leveled mode here ends games incredibly quickly. So she's a 4-4 with Overwhelm if she does manage to level, and she deals 1 damage 3 times to all battling enemies and the Nexus. So if she does manage to level, the game doesn't last much longer past that. The rest of this deck is kind of the Frostbite package that goes with Ashe. And I think this is an interesting approach. So Lee Sin's been somewhat popular since they buffed him up, and I think Flash Freeze and things like Ice Veil Archer in general seem really powerful right now. Notably, Ice Veil Archer's play effect, this gets around Spell Shield as well, right? It's not a skill that goes on the stack in the middle, and it's not a spell, so this even works if there's no skill dot. So a play effect like this beats Spell Shield even. So that's notable if your opponent isn't opening on attacks with their Lee as well. One thought I might have as a card I might want to get into here that I didn't have room to fit is Everson Sentry. It just seems like it's just a good quality card overall. 2-1 for 2 that draws a card when it dies. And this also triggers Misfortune. So like perhaps if Ye Be Warned is a card that's a little bit lower quality, something we might want to swap out for. Another thing that's really kind of sweet about this deck is we've got Babbling Bird here. That's a really powerful card. So 3-3 for 4 that when it's summoned, it draws a unit with 5+ power out of your deck. And in this deck specifically, Babbling Bird is either always drawing us an Ashe or it's always drawing us a Riptide Rex. So if you've played against Bilgewater aggressive decks, this is easily the most powerful top-end threat these Bilgewater decks can have, and it's nice that with Babbling Berg, we can only play 2 Riptide Rex, but have more access to virtual copies of it in the mid to late game to find our powerful bomb more consistently. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see if the mix of stuff that it's bringing to the table is going to end up being reasonable or not. Attacking and blocking seems pretty integral to this game design. That's what Magic used to be like. Yeah, exactly, babe. The fact that compared to Magic, the fact that all units in this game basically have vigilance, they get to attack and block each turn if you want, also adds a lot of depth to how the combat works. Opponent is playing Draven Jinx, which is definitely an aggressive shell. I think I'm going to keep these 2/3 that can make something vulnerable. I'm going to mulligan these pieces at top end. I don't want those in my opener in an aggro matchup. Okay, decent stance here.
It's Draven time!
The game volume is a bit loud.
I can do this.
Who's on top of the bounty board today?
Light the fuse.
Got some fun
So,
here.
damage stays marked on things across turns in this game, so we'll take 2 from the sugar, but this will go to a 2-2, and this will go to a 1-1. Hired Gun, notably very good when paired with Misfortune here, because Misfortune deals 1 damage to all battling enemies as well. So Misfortune will get to put this into here, and this won't die against the 2-1 because Misfortune Trigger is going to kill that. And we can mouse over the eye here to see that this is the case. When I line up blocks like this, it shows that my opponent's going to take 4 and this will die. Obviously, my opponent's going to have an opportunity to throw a blocker in front of Misfortune, so they might not necessarily take 4, but it's going to be okay for now. Are the game volume better now, or is that still too high?
For you.
I think I'm pretty okay with this trade.
Love ya.
It was way over your head. The number one piece of advice I would have for someone trying to get into Runeterra for the first time is that you should definitely play all of the challenges that they put into the game.
Locked and ready.
So there is, the tutorial includes a bunch of challenge levels, and a lot of them are optional, but you should play them anyways. Yeah, this is the most visually appealing digital card game that exists. It's very, very well done. So they have this spinning axe here that they can discard a card to give an ally +1 attack. Yeah, so I get to put this here on Jinx. I get to put this here. And then I think I'm actually... So I have Flash Freeze here to wipe the attack off of this, so this quick attack doesn't matter. And then the question becomes, do I want to put my 3-1 in front of here? If I put the 3-1 in front of here, this does have quick attack, and they can give it a bonus with the spinning axe, but that requires them to use the spinning axe and another card out of their hand. So the question is, do I want to trade Ice Veil Archer for a card out of their hand? And I think the answer is no. I think this is better on offense for us. I think we block like this and take this trade. They might spinning axe here to kill my 2-2, but I'm also pretty okay with that exchange. Yeah, I agree, Juka. This is the closest thing to a video game of any card game I've ever played.
Time for the moneymakers.
Wow, okay, so that's pretty good. So they had a Vision in their hand, which it, when discarded, it gives all of their allies +1 extra attack permanently. So still cleared out their Jinx at least, so that's ideal for us. Yeah, you definitely have to... Hired Gun is great here. Gives Draven vulnerable, so we can force him to block. When there are a number of things with Runeterra that you definitely have to unlearn as a player. Yeah, you have to unlearn some stuff coming from Magic. So, remember Misfortune's going to... She's going to deal a damage to their stuff. So if I put this here, these are going to trade, which I think is fine. And I'm pretty okay with them trading Jinx for Misfortune here. Yeah, the way the stack and the priority system works is a little bit different as well. The big change on the stack that you have to get used to is, unlike Magic, you can't stop in between things on the stack to add more things. So, like, once a stack builds up and you click OK, resolve stack, if your opponent also says OK, the whole stack resolves. I think that's the biggest adjustment for most people coming from Magic.
Anything else? Stick your lip out and give them puppy eyes. Trust me.
Alright, so Jinx levels when their hand is empty. So yeah, I think we're going to see them double Spinning Axe level Jinx here.
I'm on a roll.
Hey, Disoriental, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So Jinx on her leveled mode here draws them an extra card each turn, and then when they get their hand empty on their turn, she creates a super mega death rocket, which deals a bunch of damages to things. Yeah, Yeah, the fact that we have harsh winds to wipe the attack off their things is definitely a big deal. I think I go ahead and make it rain here. This deals 1 damage to 3 things at random, including their nexus. Hopefully we'll hit all 3 of these. It's fine.
Watch your step.
No, this is a 1 or 0 cost thing. Yep. So there's a rocket.
Has arrived.
Hey, good morning, Pylon. Thanks for the 1.5 years of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
Bye-bye.
So, rocket happens. The animation is very good. For sure. And I think we're just playing a Harsh Winds here as a gain 7. We are unfortunately only going up to 7 resources this turn. So I'm actually gonna level Misfortune this turn potentially, right? Depending on what Jinx does here. So the question is, what do I want to give vulnerable with this? I could like give one of these vulnerable and then ye be warned to kill the Jinx. I kind of don't hate that.
Sharp is my spear.
I think I need to kill these elusives.
Hey, kiddo. Dig your kid up. Hunt is on.
Love ya.
So now, unfortunately, they're gonna be able to Apps, which makes a Death Rocket here, and this is going to use the Death Rocket to kill my Misfortune. I mean, it wasn't a guarantee that they could empty their hand this turn, Zigzags, right now. Like, obviously they did, but like, that wasn't a guarantee.
Only think. Ashe is coming right up.
We're not just dead yet, but being at 3 against their archetype is not stellar.
They'll be blown in the water.
Wow, their Draven just dodged like a Jedi. Ooh. Yes, babe, you can play as many burst spells as you want in succession. Burst spells do not use the stack and they do not pass priority. So however many you have resources for, you can play out.
Stand for Noxus. I gotta work with this joker. You must get by these first.
Really close game here. Warning shot. Warning shot. Guess that could draw some warning shot. They are digging for a deal 3 here, chat. God bless America. This is actually a good draw. So I get to draw 3 here, but now I get priority, and I get to warning shot them and play this. So I get to gain 3 and rally, which gives me an attack token, so I get to attack now.
A foray into the field? How exciting!
Who's ready to wreck it?
Runeterra's gameplay is really, really good, Full Metal. Cannot recommend it enough.
Raven down.
The core of what they have here is so stellar.
The sun got me good.
Man, their hand is good. Babbling Berg is really good.
Ancient things trapped in the ice.
So this only triggers if we have plunder, and we don't have plunder. I think I'm supposed to play this and attack them, right?
Who need me?
Oh yeah, we're never gonna have plunder, right? Because they're at 1. And their regions don't gain life. That's a good call. The board pets are adorable. The emoticons are adorable. Good call that they're at 1. We're never gonna have plunder. Accurate. Yeah, I think looking at it, literally my only complaint about Runeterra is they need a craft all button in their deck editor. That is the one thing they really need in terms of features.
I'm on the verge of something.
Man, that's unreal.
Lose yourself in the
Oh. The top of their deck has been really good. You can always see the deck list on your screen. We're dead, right? Even with all these being blanks, I'm just dead on board, right? Yeah. Close game. I don't think we could really beat the opponent's draws at the end there. Like, they got empty-handed, then they hit running draw 3s, and we almost got through. Yeah, casual back draw 3s. If our shark had been marginally better, I think we might have gotten through, like, if the shark had killed Draven. As far as tweets go, all the good nuts, I think Christy and I found a good balance to twoters. I'm still tweeting some amount, but I've taken Twitter off my work computer, and I've taken Twitter off my cell phone. And I think explicitly not having it in the 2 places that I spend my most time using the computer makes it a lot less obnoxious to use. So I'm not sitting there doom scrolling it constantly. And yes, I am a small child, and I have to take them off of my computer to not idly doom scroll. Feel free to judge. Trundle or installs Sajani. So definitely a bit of a brew. I think we probably want to mulligan for more threat, so I'm going to keep Archer Misfortune and mulligan these 2. So, like, for example, I did take a second to tweet out this morning about the big orange bigot in the White House posting a completely inaccurate stat according to his own CDC about the number of flu deaths in the United States. For anybody who's new to the channel, you'll notice there's a Biden-Harris 2020 banner in my scroller. And if you're someone who supports our large orange fascist, feel free to change the channel. I'd appreciate it if you stopped trying to destroy my country with a grifter and a sociopathic chronological liar.
I'm one of the good guys, but not that good.
I have not, Zurin. Not at all.
Blaze.
Yeah, Trump posted that up to 100,000 people per year die from the flu, and you shouldn't be worried about COVID because of it, when in reality, the estimate for the flu for this upcoming season in the United States is between 20 and 60,000 as the upper edge, whereas COVID-19 has killed well over 200,000 people in 8 months. So the idea that it is comparable is laughable and nonsense. We're just going to take this hit here. I'm going to get Ice Veil Archer this next turn and have an okay attack in. Ooh, that's an Ashe. Okay, so I have 7 mana total here, but only 5 of it is for units. I could play Ashe and then Ye Be Warned this. I think that's probably a good play. We'll see what they do. They don't have enough for Icequake this turn. They only have 7 and Icequake costs 8. It's pretty good. Now, the problem with this here is they had this to kill this, so now, because she can't attack now, I no longer have attacks into this Trundle. Do I throw away my Omen Hawk in order to get in a point of damage and get an attack trigger on her? I think that's a worthwhile exchange for me. So this has regeneration on it. That's what this little icon means. So unlike most things in Runeterra, this is going to recover the 2 damage marked on it. So I'm basically throwing away my 1/1 to deal this. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I think you're right, Innuendo. No, I think you're right. We're definitely the beatdown here. I think I should have burned this to hook this over here and get in with these. I think that's a good sequence. And, like, the most ridiculous thing about his tweet regarding the number of flu deaths is, like, what an actual leader should be posting is he should be posting about the upcoming flu season. All he needs to do is say, hey, flu season is coming. People also die from the flu. Wear a mask when you go out. Masks help protect people from the normal flu, just like they help protect people from COVID. Do your part and be patriotic. Help your other citizens not die of preventable diseases. But instead, masks are political in the United States because the Republican Party is a cult devoid of science. It's just completely idiotic and unfathomable. That wouldn't own the libs is exactly correct.
Joke debate.
Spilled paint is just accidental art.
Now, unfortunately, my opponent is going to be able to Ice Pillar next turn, which is a little scary. I think we're just banking this 2 spell mana for now. We're going to go up to 7 total mana next turn. What are we doing here? So they're up to 9. I actually think it's probably important that I kill this turn, so that way I think it's important that I kill this turn, so that way I think they're going to War Mother this turn. Let's see. I think I'm going to start on this. They could... No. They're not, well, they are a Warm Weather deck, right? They're not Shadow Isles, but they're still Freljord. I think I want to kill this so I don't get Ori installed next turn, is the plan. Because if I kill this, they'll still only be at...
It's always cold in the Freljord. Hail to the king!
Time for violence.
You gotta believe me!
The Ice Pillar is a free attack here with this too, that's true. And then Misfortune's at 3 out of 4 here. So if she gets to survive here, the rally on this is going to let us, the rally on this is going to let us level her. Oh, I'm so dumb. That was a wasted warning shot. I had the triggers from these. Sorry, it's early. I'm aware I messed up. Thoughts on the new Fusion and Raid? I'm skipping it, Seth. Alright, do they have Ice Quake? How often does Runeterra come out with new sets? So, every 2 months, actually, Full Metal. So, their release plan is every 6 months, they do a large card set that has about 80 cards in it. And then in the 2 months following twice, they do 40 card set drops. So, we're going to get 40 cards released next week, actually. And then another 40 cards in December. And then I believe February, we'll have another 80 card set drop. And the larger set drops for the next year. Let's watch her level up animation.
No mercy.
No, it's 40 total, including the champs, Tobias.
Oh, you're interested.
Leveled Misfortune shoots some bullets. What was I gonna say? So, and for the next year, so there's currently 8 regions in Runeterra. The big set drops for the rest of the year will be introducing new regions as well, which is important. So these two are stunned. Alright, that's a Yeti. The archer does freeze past the shield, that is correct.
The trolls are going to war!
I think we're just doing this turn though.
Ready, Rex? Not yet! Go to go! Loud noises hurt ear.
Well, the Infinite Mind Splitter kind of looks like it could be from the Matrix, and it's acting like it. But we killed Trundle at least. Like, yeah, like, that's kind of annoying, but we did kill Trundle. In a Q&A with the developers, I believe they said that 10 regions is their plan to have in total.
Look, Rex. Lunch. Tread carefully.
Their archetype doesn't have reach in it, so I think I'm just trading this here and taking 9.
Save the homestead.
Hey, Pylon, thank you for partaking in the democratic process. I really hope there's a lot of people that are first-time voters this year. And I know this'll be hard to believe from watching my stream, But this presidential election will be the first time I've ever voted for a Democrat in a presidential election.
You're cute when you're armed. Firepower is always in style.
Hello, Runeterra. Let's
Yeah, I voted third party in 2016, and I just didn't vote in general in whatever the election was before that. 2012 was the first year I was old enough to vote.
Winter take you.
Are they dead? If they have nothing, I think they're dead, right? Do I actually play this out, right? Let me get in here. Because remember, Misfortune's gonna trigger too, right? RNL, thank you for the 22 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. There are not more than 2 parties in the United States. There's just other groups of people that try to play spoiler during presidential elections. Sick game. Sick game.
Fortune smiles.
The reality of the way the U.S. political system works is that third parties are not realistic choices for the president. And if things like the Libertarian and Green Party actually cared about their ideals and they weren't just trying to play spoiler to help the Republicans, they would actually be running for congressional seats and local elections, things they could actually win to implement the policies they claim to care about, as opposed to, I mean, working within the Democratic Party is also a good choice, but like third parties could realistically get smaller local election seats and congressional seats and stuff like that are realistic for them to obtain. They do, but do they? How many are in the House? It's like actual 0, right? And like there's Ron Paul or whatever his name is technically in the Senate, right? But he's basically a Republican. Thresh and Gangplank. So probably a control deck. This was kind of on meta for a little bit. I think I think I'm actually just keeping this whole hand. I don't know that they're playing spoiler for the Democrats. Here's the reality. Casting a third-party vote in the United States is the same as casting a ballot for whoever won the election. So, if you understand how the system works, you casting a third-party ballot is the same as you saying, I'm okay with whoever wins, because your third party is not winning. And that sucks. I think that's shitty, and I think we need the ability to have ranked choice voting in the United States. That would be a huge benefit and an increase. But while we don't have that, if you have a brain in your head and you're intelligent, you understand how reality works. And that's how reality works. There are a handful in the House or Senate. You have 10 minutes to cite a source. The only one in the House I'm aware of is the one that was elected as a Republican and left the Republican Party because he has some ounce of morals left.
I deal in coins and carnage. Set sail.
So
Make it worth my while.
so again, like, you linked there, and I'm gonna go ahead and time you out because you're actuallying me. So the thing the person linked, I said the Green Party and the Libertarian Party. Let's share the desktop. There is one Libertarian Party candidate And Justin Amash was not elected as a libertarian. He was elected as a Republican who then left the party when they started becoming Trump's party.
All the world on one arrow.
Leave a deal one to finish Misfortune. Rude.
I'll hunt them where they breed.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, Axe. Which is why people like the what's it called? The Justice Democrats, the Democratic Socialist Group, are working well within the system, right? People like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, the whole squad, they are working within the two-party system because they actually want to affect change, right? They understand how the system works, and they're working within the system to implement the policies and changes that they want. They're people who are intelligent. Yeah, and even Sanders, right? Like, Sanders was listed on that list of independents. He's still not a libertarian or a Green Party because, again, he understands how this works. So this is a scout unit here. The scout mechanic says the first time you attack each turn, if you only attack with scouts, you get to attack again, which is great. So let's go ahead and attack with both of these. Do I want to trade my 4-2 for their 2-2? I don't think I do. I think I'm going to go ahead and hook this. And then she's going to frostbite this.
Just run while you can.
So this keg is vulnerable, which means you can force it to block. So, I think we're just passing here, right? Do we pass or do we want to Ice Veil Archer? I could just Ice Veil Archer. I'm going to Ice Veil Archer. Because if they attack with this and hook this, this has Challenger, so it can force things to block it. So I think I want to wipe its power up before it gets into combat. Let's go ahead and play Babbling Out here, I think.
Tall as a mountain and covered in ice. Look out there!
Start with this attack and see what they do. They're probably going to block Ashe, and then the question is, do I want to Frostbite this? Yeah, exactly. I think I want a Citrus. I think I just let this happen. And then we play a big orange idiot that isn't an idiot. And yeah, so the way Scout is worded actually works really well with Rally, because Scouts says the first time you attack with just Scouts in a turn, you get another attack token. So I get to go ahead and attack with just this here, and it's going to give me another token. You can see it shows that here. And I put this up, it takes it away. Love the small interface cues in Runeterra. They're so fantastic. So even though I started the turn by attacking, we still get to get a scout attack in too, which is excellent. Hey, thanks for the 3/4 of a year, McBiggins. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I did a command in chat. The audio is the RTX. It doesn't like when I get loud. I can probably pull... Alright, I'm gonna try not to blow anybody's ears out. I'm gonna mute my mic for a second. We'll see if that changes it. I pulled the RTX off, so let me know if it's still wonky. If 9 resources here, I think we're just holding up. I think we're just holding up these, right? Talk about Trump some more to test it. We can get loud on purpose. How is that? Is it still real weird when I get real loud? Check 1, 2. Hey loud. Hey loud. I might be clipping it. I turned the gain up. No, is it good? That doesn't clip. It's all clear. All right, cool. My so I can pull the RTX voice off. I can pull the RTX voice off. Because the air conditioner probably won't have to run for the rest of the year here, I assume. Do I play this or do I hold mana for Flash Freeze? I think I'm playing Ashe, so I don't think I need to hold mana for that. So let's just play Trapper here. There's a Spectral Matron. Pick an ally in hand, summon something that's a copy of it, except it's ephemeral. We'll use it next summer, I'm sure, Tron.
I will unite the Freljord.
Have you tried being luckier? It's a good suggestion. Thoughts on the landmark cards? I think they're sweet.
We each died, then found home.
That was actually a pretty good draw here too, huh? So they didn't sweep the board. So do I start by attacking with just this and then play this out after? I think so.
The hunt is on.
Can the landmarks only be interacted with by new cards that mentioned it? So they said that they were going to be updating a few existing cards to add the ability to interact with landmarks onto them.
Get bloody, get paid.
Which is sweet.
A chill in the air.
I think they're dead, right? Because we frostbite that. Ashe is gonna frostbite something. We flash freeze something.
Show me a target. The time is right. Strike now.
Her leveled mode says things that, loving the variety content. Keep up the great work. Thank you for the 27 months, Salt Block. I really appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So they only have 2 blockers here, and we're hitting them with these. Glad to hear people. I'm enjoying doing the variety stuff. Runeterra has been great too. I am personally very happy with the current mix of content I've been doing, so I'm hoping that we can keep that for the future. This X-Men sweet. Big Orange Wonder Man's been pretty sick.
The war is over. Now we rebuild.
Now we rebuild. You see the other day you have a PS5 on pre-order. Are you a bot? I am not a bot. I did pre-order a PS5 though. And I've got my capture card working with the Switch, so once we get that, we'll be able to do some PS5 games as submissions. Someone earlier, I don't know why, I just remember this now, someone mentioned the PS5, but the queue does now have variety games and decks in it. So if you're interested in things that are going to be coming up. Fiora Shen, so definitely something aggressive. I'm going to mulligan Riptide Rex here, and we'll keep the rest of these, I think. Perfect. Hootie and the Blowfish. I've heard enough RTX voice to know Jeff is in fact a bot. Yeah. Yeah, so the RTX voice is actually secretly my AI breaking through when normally I'm just good at hiding it. No plays on the first 2 turns is real good for us.
Water changes but never breaks.
I think we're gonna go ahead and play Misfortune here, get her leveling.
That good.
We are going to be playing Baldur's Gate 3 tonight and Thursday. And as always, if you're interested in what I'm planning to play when, I do my schedule up a week at a time on my website that you can always find there. I also post it on Twitter and the subs Discord. We're doing variety stuff, every night except for Monday during the week, 7 to 10 p.m. If I'm being completely honest, Dr. Clockworks, if I can do full-time Runeterra and variety stuff, I'm not intending to go back to Magic. The way Wizards treats their player base and their game, I'm not a huge fan of. And if I can do my job without making Wizards money from here on out, I intend to do my job without making Wizards money. I would prefer to not reward their bad behavior. The way they treat their players sucks, and the way they've managed their game for the last 2 years has been a disaster. Thanks, Satora Mix. I really appreciate that. Runeterra is great, and I think Runeterra has an awesome future ahead of it. They've done a really, really good job with this game. The core is great.
Duty, selflessness,
So,
heavy burdens.
do I want to Trapper or just Ice Veil Archer here? I think I want to Archer to blunt the blow on some of these attacks. I'm going to go ahead and do this and wipe the attack off of Shen.
A chill in the air.
It must be done.
Runeterra is also basically in spoiler season 6 months out of the year. I don't think that's strictly true, right? I guess that's kind of, well, no, it's closer to 3 months, right? Innuendo, they do a shorter, more compact spoiler season. So, like, the next set is releasing on the 14th, and they started spoilers yesterday, 9 days out. Oh, I should ice the 2/2 so they don't get to draw a card with its strike. That's a good thought. Yeah, I think I'm just taking this hit now.
What form will the waters take?
I think we open on attacks here, right? Because we have Citrus Courier. So we're going to start by attacking with all of these.
My life for these lands.
Strike, we will reform. There is no dispute.
Their barriers don't really matter because Love Tap's going to break any barriers they put down here. Which is nice.
Love ya.
A gift from the river folk.
That's funny, disciples. I think I'm just doing this. That's super unfortunate.
I'll be damned.
So we're like a little bit behind on board now because we're a little bit behind on board because they have a champion and we don't. We have similar number of cards in hand. So I need to flash freeze this turn now, right?
No prey, no pay.
So we'll do this and plan to flash freeze here.
Here's an imbalance.
And then next turn we'll open on
They are under my protection.
we'll open on attacks with our 4/4 to get the love tap trigger in, and then we'll get to shark post combat. Sounds good. We want to try and shade with shit? No, I don't think so. I think it's too important that I keep this for the love tap trigger this turn. Okay, so they're gonna lifesteal back. This is still gonna take 4 though, because the love tap wipes away the barrier, gets a little bit bigger. That's fine. Hey, no worries, Evan. I want you to know, because this is also a little bit different than other channels, don't think of timeouts here as you did some big scary. I don't time you out because I'm mad at you. I time you out because I know you're smarter and can do better than what you did. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. I believe in you and your ability to form better arguments than whatever you posted that got you timed out. Alright, that's a Genevieve. I have 11 mana total here. If I played this, I go down to 7. I think I want to do this and try and find a Flash Freeze or a Harsh Winds.
It was right on my tail.
Hold nothing back.
This also has Scout, so we're going to trade with 2 of my things here, which feels bad, but it is what it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Jace, you never get a champion from a free reward that you already have unless you have every champion in the game. So, like, even if you have all the Freljord champions, you get a champion from a different region if you would get a random Freljord champion. It's incredible. Just everything about this game is consumer friendly. It's so refreshing.
I sharpens my spear.
I've got your back.
I'm one of the good guys, but not that good.
So I'm playing Misfortune out here because Misfortune's love tap. Yeah, as someone who has all the champions, you get shards. You get 750 shards. So Misfortune's love tap lets me break this barrier, and then this dies in combat, which is nice. That is definitely a legal use of deny. That is definitely a play that you are allowed to make.
I told you.
It is a very aggressive deny. What did they deny? They denied Misfortune's love tap trigger. So if they have like a riposte or something, they could trade with Misfortune here, but I'm pretty okay with that.
Command you to halt.
Like this exchange is absurd for us. Like, even if they kill Misfortune here, this combat is just really good for us, right? Sure.
A gift from the river folk.
They walked around.
What form will the waters take?
Okay, so like my opponent's got a bunch of cards in hand, but they're behind on life and behind on board, and we have an equal number of cards in hand. Pretty good. That's a great draw too.
Patience.
I just take the pass, right? And go open attacks here. I don't want to play something then have them play something bigger.
I'm through waiting.
Hello, youngest son. What's up? What are you looking for? What's mommy looking for? I do not.
Love ya.
Maybe I should have been more aggressive because of the potential of something like single combat. Nah, I think we're still pretty far ahead here with these sitting in hand, so. If they don't open attacks, we'll Ice Veil Archer the Screeching Dragon here.
I will unite the Freljord.
Honestly, does anybody ever really have a healthy relationship with magic? It's a good question. I'm not sure the answer is yes. I was just thinking more and more about like how much on average I was enjoying magic versus feeling frustrated with it, so
Now begins a new era
definitely a big part of why I put up with magic for as long as I did is because it's my job. And now we're attempting a career change. We'll see how successful that attempt is. If it's unsuccessful, we'll just attempt to crawl back to the old job, but that's what it is. At the very least, we'll have a fun month of October. This Miss Ashe deck seems really fantastic. Sweet, sweet mix of things overall. Fiora, Shen again. Think we're mulliganing, looking for cheaper plays. Hired gun seems fine to keep.
Get bloody, get paid.
You point, I shoot.
We swim within the flows of magic.
Play out the Omen Hawk here, get its trigger going. Also get to bank these mana here. I think we just get Babbling Bird.
Ancient things trapped in the ice.
Opponent's having quite at this, but opponent's having a slow start, similar to the last one.
Sweep them away.
This feel like a riposte to anybody else? Feels like a
Got
riposte.
some fight in ya.
So I think with the riposte here, I actually go ahead and flash freeze this, because it's kind of a 2-for-1, right? It saves this, and it also denies their ability to strike, because it no longer has attack.
What form will the waters take?
All the world on one arrow.
Tell me how to be psychic like you. Well, they're attacking their 2-2 into my 3-3, and riposte is like the one combat trick their archetype plays, so seemed
A gift
fairly
from the
likely.
little folk.
Show me a target.
They have second riposte here. I end up kind of sad. I don't think I'm gonna play around that. Nice. No second riposte. Deal. Wow, no play here. That's huge for us.
My strength is yours.
A chill in the air.
Frostbite is so good against this card. Just like wipe off its double attack for the turn. Thanks, good nuts. Do I want to commit Hired Gun to the board? Hired Gun would make this vulnerable, so I think that's fine.
Success gets noticed around here.
Yeah, I mean, so Juggalos, oh, Twitch usernames, like, for people that aren't aware, like, Wizards got a new CEO in 2016, and I'm sure that that CEO has just gotten tons of bonuses because, like, actually, we're just gonna try and kill them here, right? We flash freeze this, Ashe's attack wipes the attack off of this, and then that can't block.
Rosa, guide me.
Like, there's a bunch of people, and this is another reason why I decided to take a Magic break, like, there's a bunch of people that are expecting Magic to change or get better or start doing things differently, but, like, Magic's more profitable than it's ever been. They don't really have an incentive to change their game. What they're doing is working. What they're doing is meeting the only metric they care about. The future of Magic is more of the same as what it's been for the last 2 years. Yeah, the opponent's hand wasn't... Maybe should have mulliganed. I'm kind of into this deck, though. Ashe to Johnny. Yeah, I think this is probably fine. Couple of trappers, just finds an Ashe or a Rex.
I said.
Hot on the trade.
Our opponents don't like keeping hands that make plays, apparently, this morning.
I will unite the Freljord.
I think we just Ice Veil Archer here, and then we'll probably Hired Gun to make her vulnerable for next turn. Engineer, thank you for the tier 2. I appreciate that. Here for the good talks and the good variety. Awesome. Speaking of variety segments and tier 2 subs that are generous, starting Thursday morning, what I plan to do for my variety segments is I'm going to post a poll every week in the subs Discord, and I'm going to let subscribers vote on which decks they want to see, or which games they want to see come back as variety segments each week.
What did you catch?
I was trying to figure out a way to get subs more involved with the variety segments. I think that's probably a good solution. I think we just Yi warned this. Yi Warren's actually been super reasonable. I mentioned this as kind of a weak card in the start, but it being a piece of removal has been really good. I will email it out as well. So if you don't want to join the subs Discord, which you should, but if you really don't do Discord, I'll send it out via email too. I feel like they're gonna get troll chanted and be sad. Just flash freeze is fine. These will trade. I mean, this is still like a good exchange for us, right? Like they're taking 8, these are trading, we draw a card. Flash freeze. Flash freeze is actually better for us than troll chant in this situation. Do you have to manually count the points for subs in the survey? No, I'm gonna automate a spreadsheet, I think, Fox. Something I plan to do every week, I'll definitely automate it. In a former life, I did process automation for a major insurance company as a job, so I have some background in that.
Behind you, a Yeti! Yetis? There's no such thing.
So they obviously have an elixir, right?
Tread carefully.
Excuse me? Alright, that surprises me. We'll take it, but... Yeah, deal resolves. Huh? So if I open attacks here, we technically have lethal, but they have 7 mana and frostbites and stuff. I think I want a Yeti and Ashe before I attack here. This could be wrong though. We'll see. We'll start with the Yeti and see what they do.
A chill in the air.
All the world on one arrow.
Yeah, well, they have Harsh Winds available via spell mana, so they have a 6 point here.
Many tribes under one banner.
So we're definitely making this attack. The question is, am I also throwing the rest of these in here? I think so. They go like eat here, take 5. Their regions don't really heal. Oh crap! This one's bigger, and I'm not frostbiting here anymore. Use the Yeti on the vulnerable one. Yeah, I like that. I like that. It's a good idea.
My life for Avarosa.
And they trade there, block there, go to 1, and then the warning shot kills them. Good line.
Unify the tribes.
The old American warning shot. Did Digimon not get added, or do I need to spend more with my tier 3 for September? So, I am not doing, upon some reflection, Beansy, I'm not doing variety submissions with just tier 3s, yeah. Yeah, I have Digimon Cyber Sleuth sitting next to me here that at some point we're gonna load up. Variety submissions are $50 plus the cost of the game, or if I already have the game, just $50. Because the overall goal is to not get flooded with them, so that way, because my goal is, I think, to do like 3 to 4 continuation playthroughs each week, and then like 2 to 3 new things to try. Variety submissions are currently only for Switch and PC. I have a PlayStation 5 on pre-order. So once the PS5 drops, we can do some of that. I think I'm full mulliganing here against an aggro deck. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Tier 3 is worth 30, Beansy. I have not pre-ordered any PS5 games as of yet, no.
The sunbrock got me good.
Yeah, we have a few things I wouldn't mind continuing playthroughs of. Like I said, I'm gonna put the playthrough continuations up to a vote every week. How's this deck felt? It's actually been really good, Crazy Duck. Felt super powerful. Which isn't too surprising. I guess either, like, we're playing a pretty good mix of competitive cards. The kind of standout card that's not super stock in any of the tiered decks right now is Citrus Courier's been very reasonable. I don't think I want to attack here, because obviously the 1-1 into the 2-2 is not great, and I really don't want to trade my 2-2 for their 2-1, so I have better blocks next turn if I, like, use this to trade here and this to trade here, so I think I just pass back. There's a 5-5 for 3. Sounds lovely.
It's Draven time.
Really, really good stat line here. Yeah, the frostbite spells have continued to be great. I think Flash Freeze in general is in a really fantastic spot in the format right now.
Now we're cooking. Let's do this.
Yep. So I assume they're gonna go ahead and challenger my 5-5 here. We're gonna take 5 inside of this combat here. We'll trade this here, like we mentioned. I think there were, when I first started playing Runeterra Tron a few months back, I think there was definitely a point where Brittle Steel was a better card than Flash Freeze for a lot of the format, but I don't think that's the case anymore. And I think you're right, Flash Freeze has been good for a little bit. I definitely think there's meta games where Brittle Steel can be much better because of the resource efficiency and the stat line difference not really mattering. Banking up to 3 spell mana here so we can hold for Flash Freeze sounds great. That's a great pickup. We can go Berg plus Yeti this turn. We'll see if they open on attacks or not. This gives their other things an extra attack when it goes, so they might just get in there here. So, playing the Yeti out here first. I'm expecting them to attack here. Flash freeze on Draven will be excellent this turn.
Not my first gunfight.
Think we do this and just go down to 8 here. Keep as many of my things alive as possible. Their deck does have a decent amount of burn in it. They are Piltover Noxious, but like, we know 3 of their cards right now. I guess these are kind of reach here.
Out?
Risky if they have Vision discard. Yeah, I don't think we can play around Vision there. I think Vision is just killing us.
Yetis? There's no such thing.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I could have put this on the 2-2 and then put this on the 3-2. It's a good observation. Huh? Who... So we're at a virtual 6 because of these elusives. I think I want to play Misfortune and get in there with her. Get her leveling. Whoop. It's been a while since I've grabbed the bottom of the screen by mistake. Apologies.
I'm one of the good guys, but not that good.
For those who are new to the stream, I play with Runeterra windowed, and sometimes when grabbing a card from the bottom, I'll grab the bottom of the window and resize it by mistake.
Time to make some coin.
So, obviously they're going to throw some jump blocks out here. The question is where. I assume the 2-2 is going to go in front of this.
Love ya.
We likely have them pretty dead if we get to next turn. The question's going to be, can we get to next turn? So they're going to have double Elusive Poro here. They have an extra point with the Spinning Axe. Sometimes these decks play Decimate. That's really good, so that's plus 2 more. So we're at a virtual 3 right now, so we're dead. We're dead to a single burn spell. Best draw in our deck here is definitely Harsh Winds. This Twitch stream was pre-recorded in front of a live audience. Welcome to Hoaglandia, and please enjoy your stay. Kyle, the Decent Lawyer, thank you for the 4 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I have 10 mana total here, right? So I can play this out and still Harsh Winds.
One arrow.
Let's take a real close look at the action.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Oh, the doors!
I think I Flash Freeze these two. Or Harsh Winds these two. No, I do not intend to promote Wizards game if I can avoid doing so moving forward. Wizards doesn't want me promoting their game. I'm gonna avoid promoting their game. I think Runeterra is a better game. It makes me happier to play it. I'm gonna focus on things that make me happy. Life's short, chat. Play games that make you happy.
Why sharp is my spear?
When Runeterra fleshes their tournament mode out some more, probably going to host some events for this game, so that's lovely. We'll have a real spectator mode for this game, so we won't have to do botchy Discord coverage for it. Sounds lovely.
Rules are made to be broken, like villages or people.
I already know with certainty that if I run events for Runeterra, Riot will provide some support, Jareth.
Show me a target.
Did you?
Stay still, I'm trying to shoot you.
Stay still, I'm trying to shoot you. Sorry, Jinx.
I'll give you to the
I really love that we basically come full circle, and me having to close the door to keep the noise from the kids down is when Declan's down here, he now regularly comes and closes the door because I'm being too loud while he's playing his game. Downloaded Runeterra and I'm enjoying it so far. Thanks for the YouTube video and forwarding me to the TCC video. It helped me not be lost when you play the game. Awesome, Fig. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, Runeterra is great. I think the future of this game is super bright. One question a lot of newer folks have asked is like, okay, well, how much room is there to brew in Runeterra? This deck here is a great example. This isn't an established deck. This is a brew that's playing a good mix of cards that are good in the format. I've talked a lot about how Flash Freeze is great, and I think there's plenty of room to work in with both the established archetypes and tune the details to meet what you want them to meet, but there's also room to try new ideas. And this one was fantastic. Honestly, I don't really know that I'd change anything. I felt like the mix of things that we were playing were pretty reasonable. The one card I was really kind of skeptical on that's a pretty off-meta card at the beginning was Ye Be Warned, and I feel like this is a card that earned its slot over the course of the last hour and a half. While I could see someone playing war games determining this not being worth it, in conjunction with our Frostbites especially, this card's super powerful with Ashe specifically. So there's a lot of board states where Ashe doesn't want to attack in because she'll get killed, even though she's frostbiting something. And with Ye Be Warned, you can warn or make vulnerable whatever Ashe is going to be frostbiting, and then hook it with Ashe after she sets its power to 0, which is really, really strong. Because Ashe is 5 power, and she's killing most things that she's hooking into. So, yeah, I like this build a lot. What's the vulnerable keyword? Vulnerable means that any of your units can force it to block. So it's similar to Challenger, except that their unit has it and can be made to block any of your things. It's kind of like Reverse Challenger. Not quite. Alright, at any rate, don't go anywhere. We're doing 2 Runeterra decks every single morning. Up next, we're going to be playing some frozen mushrooms. Where would that go? Just going to get a couple of things flipped over here really quick. While I'm doing that, I would just like to say good morning, good afternoon.